I got to be the very best. It's hard to see you fail the test. But my brother, I'll let you know I will not let you down. It's your boy Anubis Can't Be Stopped, and I'm back again with another Division 2 video. And boy, this is one of those three-piece series videos coming right at you hot off the presses. And guess what? This is my ultimate skill build for PvE. I apologize I hadn't put this one out right away because this is another one of those deadly monsters. And when I say deadly monsters, this is built in such a way that there is damage all over this build. This thing is amazing. When I say amazing, I mean amazing. Like heroic content, you'll shred through NPCs like butter. Like, totally be honest with you, because I had to get the clips for this video. It took me a lot longer than it normally would take because I don't have the streaming setup I desire as of yet. I'm working on it. I'm working on building my channel from scratch, from the raw. This is me. This is not any fluff or any other stuff that is like just, it's raw, you know. It's a little bit gritty. I do my voiceovers walking and things like that, so therefore you can get my reactions to stuff right off the bat. Like, wow, like if you could see how this build synergizes together. It's utilizing the capacitor, of course, turret and drone, which is to me the meta in PvE. Now, some people are going to say status effects, which is true. Status effects have their place in PvE and PvP, you know, but totally be honest with you, as far as survivability goes and being able to consistently move through a mission and things of that nature, like if I didn't have to stop to grab clips and things of that nature, I probably would have been finished with this a lot faster. But that's neither here nor there. But as you can see, I can move through these sections uninhibited pretty doggone good because I have a lot of damage going on this build. And it's like, I don't even know what to say at this point other than look at those damage numbers floating. Like, my damage numbers floating are insane. Like, I really have insane weapon damage as well on this build. And it's not just because of the capacitor, but because you can actually slot in other weapons, the St. Elmo's engine. You can do a bunch of stuff with this and still get the same effect without having the capacitor. Capacitor is icing on the cake though, because the capacitor gets you those skill damage stacks, you know? And those skill damage stacks improve your weapon, improve not your weapon damage, but your skill damage. So you can get some really high numbers with the skills. So you can utilize the capacitor, you can utilize the Ouroboros, you can utilize whatever weapon that you find is your favorite. I do believe the Ouroboros would shine with this too, but if it was me, I would just use the capacitor at this point for this. Or mechanical animal could be another choice for you too, because you get a weapon kill, you send those bad fellas into overcharge. Oh my God. Ooh, you're talking about a whole different ball game with damage, you know? So there's a lot going on with this, and it's a lot that you could do with this, you know? So I just wanted to let you know that this is my ultimate skill build. As you can see, as I make my way through stuff and things of that nature, and you see how I'm moving around the map, I'm not really out of cover. that man ran past me and jumped over the wall. He said he didn't want no parts of what I had going on. Oh man, that was so funny. Oh, look at that, melted, just melted. I'm melting everything moving. Now I do believe expertise 15 or 12 or something like that on this, so that might be doing some extra damage that you possibly wouldn't do in like conflict. But to totally be honest with you, in conflict and in the dark zone, there are different skills that you should run, like seeker mines and hives. I do believe if I'm gonna try this out in PvP. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how that's gonna go because it's a different play style for this build. I can't be out in the open, and that's gonna be a problem for me because if they decide to target me, I'm dead in the water. There's nothing I can do if my team is not protecting me. So if my team is not protecting me, or they're not keeping me in between them and whoever they're shooting, it's not gonna do no good at all. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna have to switch to probably an armor regen or status effect against my build, because this thing is gonna pack a punch, like an amazing punch. But I will try this out in PvP. I'll let you know how it goes. I did a hybrid kind of like this before, and it hit pretty hard in PvP. But I have a better idea for PvP with skill damage and stuff like that. And I do believe that is the way to go with this type of setup. And I have certain pieces that I have to find to make this build. The build that I make for PvP it's gonna be something I've had cooking in my brain for a while. And if I could get all the pieces to align correctly, and I can switch and do some things a little bit differently, I could possibly make a 6-and-6 build. I'm working on it. I don't know how well this is gonna work out, but I'm hoping that it works out well. I just wanna see what's gonna go on if I try this, because it's really, really hard to get all the damage numbers and things that you want where you want them sometimes, because you have to sacrifice something to get something, you know? And if I could sacrifice something and get something, I'm willing to do it. But at the same time, what else can I do to make it even stronger, you know? I want to make my builds as strong as possible, you know? And hybrids have the possibility of being some of the strongest builds in the game. And with them being some of the strongest builds in the game, you have to work different avenues for these builds, you know? Like, if you look at some of the hybrids that have been built in the past few months, there's a Strikers PvE hybrid. There is a Strikers PvE skill build hybrid. There is a status effect armor hybrid. There is a what is this thing called? It's an EMP hybrid, which allows you to get your EMP back faster. I have an idea. I'm not sure if it'll work or not. I'm talking about, like, you would literally have to be invisible for this not to work. I'm going to build a hybrid that allows players to be found no matter if they're wearing pulse resistance or not. Because there's certain skills that even you might not get pulsed, but the skills will still find you, okay? So you won't be able to hide. And being able to like find your players on a map, or see them coming around a corner, or seeing them push or something like that, is a tremendous advantage in a fight. Like you will have to literally be a tanky, strafing fool to get away from a build that is straight up trying to hunt you down at every turn. But the thing about it is, the team would have to get on board with you as far as just staying back and staying out of everything that's going on to let you find people and things like that. Like pulse resistance there's no such thing as 100% pulse resistance, to totally be honest with you. If you look at the actual mechanics of pulsing a player, if you're looking at the actual mechanics of pulsing a player, you're still going to get found. You're not going to not be found. Like, it's gonna pulse you even for a few seconds. And even those few seconds can, oh, he's behind us. Oh, he's underneath us. Oh, they're coming up the street. Oh, they're coming left. Oh, they're coming right. Oh, focus fire down the alley. Things of that nature. They're hiding in their spawn. Blah, blah, blah. Now, teams tend to panic and do different things when they are put against the wall. And that is the beauty of PvP strategy, I'm gonna get into PvP strategies and how I go about PvP with random players and with a team that is well versed in PvP. There are two different types of ways to run that. And based on how it goes, you can utilize some amazing things, So that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. But at the end of this video, I'm gonna let you all go. I'm not gonna keep you all too long with the commentary and stuff like that. At the end of the video, there is a breakdown of the build, okay? It requires the force multiplier, which is a on.You backpack, named backpack. It requires another piece of on.You, which 2 pieces give you skill damage and skill haste. Then, on top of that, we're running with a 3-piece Murakami. 3-piece Murakami gives you skill duration, skill repair, and 30% skill damage. On all the pieces, except a couple, I have crit damage and crit chance rolled with a skill tier on all pieces. Except one, the chest piece, which is the perfect sacrifice. All damage you deal gives 30% amplified damage to all damage you deal. But in kind, you take 60% extra damage from all incoming damage sources. So you are super de-duper squishy. And when I say super de-duper squishy, none of my gear is expertised. I refuse to expertise any of my gear until I max out all of my exotic components 9999. When I do that, that is when I will start expertising the builds that I plan on using permanently. I don't plan on expertising anything that I don't plan on using permanently throughout the Division 2. We are going to have new gear and new gear sets and new brand sets and new brand set bonuses and things of that nature coming to the game. I want to utilize the best of the best. I will say there are 2 chess pieces I will expertise all the way to 26, 27, or whatever it may be, and that would be my perfect sacrifice pieces, period. Those are getting expertise. The perfect sacrifice is the #1 chess talent in the game. The perfect glass cannon is no other damage talent in the game that is that strong. You can argue me down about this all you want. There is nothing you have to do to activate glass cannon. Nothing. It is the perfect talent. There is nothing you have to do to activate that talent. They just better be lucky that that talent is basically a crutch for most players. Because if more people wore perfect glass cannon, a lot of PvP players in this game would be screwed. Like, I wore a glass cannon with another player, his name is Slim. He wears perfect glass cannon all the time. I wear perfect glass cannon all the time. And we had a bunk build come directly at us and get schmelted. Like, there's nothing you can do against glass cannon. If you get caught by glass cannon, even if you're strafing, it's gonna rip off. If your RPMs on your weapon is high, it's gonna tear off your armor like something you wouldn't believe. Like, perfect glass cannon on skill builds is retarded because, for simple fact is, I'm amplifying my skill damage by 30%. And all my talents are getting amplified by 30%. All my damage talents on my weapons are getting amplified by 30%. So think about the capacitor. You have 40 stacks, 2% or 1.5% skill damage, or 0.5% skill damage. I forget which one it is, per stack. So think about that is each one of those stacks is amplified by 30%. Every time it stacks, that's another 30%. You see how the numbers get crazy after that? Glass cannon is the #1 talent in the game. That, my friends, is what you call meta. The only thing that doesn't make it 100% meta is the fact that glass cannon has a drawback. You take so much more damage than everybody else. It is extremely hard to run, which I do believe, in my personal opinion, there are players like Kamikaze Von Doom, there are players like Sergeant Graybeard, even Nothing But Skills that wear perfect glass cannon on some of their builds, and they are elite players. I will give that to them. They are elite players because they can run with perfect glass cannon. And I do believe if you cannot run with perfect glass cannon, you are doomed to fail in this game because you do not have the wits to have a survivability mindset for your team. Like you are not a team-oriented player, because if you put glass cannon on somebody and they're fighting them, they're going to panic. They're going to be like, somebody's wearing glass cannon. You're going to hear it. They're going to say it on their mic. Somebody's wearing glass cannon. Somebody's wearing glass cannon. I got even more bolder and wore an all red, perfect glass cannon, perfect vigilance build from Striker in the dark zone. And the guy said, who does this? He's wearing an all red Striker with perfect glass cannon and vigilance. Who the hell does this? I'm expertise 25. It doesn't matter. Glass cannon is going to tear off your 2 million armor like it wasn't even there in the first place. Like, even the Catharsis mask has its limits, you know. These are things that you have to think about when you're building builds. So my build is built with 3-piece memory economy, two pieces of You're, one perfect sacrifice with weapon damage, crit chance, and crit damage with a crit damage mod. I put crit damage mods on all the pieces that I could, which are the only 3 pieces I could put on the backpack, chest piece, and the mask. There is some skill damage sprinkled in some of those pieces, so you can utilize those things as well. This is a snapshot of the build. This is the build. I'm running the capacitor. We know how that works. Capacitance, build your stacks, get your extra skill damage on top of every skill tier you're wearing is 7.5% weapon damage coming from that weapon. Also, not just that, let me move on a little bit harder. The reason why I have that perfect glass cannon with crit damage and crit chance is because what I did was I put the technician specialization on. Technician specialization will give you that extra skill tier that you need. So I want you to take that into account as well. So this is the build. This is what it does. You can screenshot this. You can use this at base level in the game. You do not have to have this. You do not have to be level 2000. You do not have to be watch level 2000 to get the benefits from this build. I repeat, you do not have to be watch level 2000 or 1000 to get the benefits from this build. This build will slap. It is just easy to farm. Go to countdown once you reach level 40, farm glass cannon. Farm Providence defense until you get the perfect glass cannon that you want. You will get it from a hunter. I guarantee it. You will get it from a hunter. Just try to wear an all red build and help your team out. Just run with them. Stay close, stay in cover, stay on your feet. Get your glass cannon up, run it on challenging, do all the things that you need to do, and you will have some amazing things drop for you in there, and you'll be able to farm these pieces. Farm the backpack. I think the perfect build for this would be all red and yellow, like all crit damage, crit chance with all skill tiers would be in freaking sanity. We're talking about nasty. Farm descent. Get your blueprints. If anything, if you're a new player, that's where you want to go to get your named items. You want to get those blueprints, and the only way to get those blueprints is to go through descent and get those reconstructed caches. Get those reconstructed caches, even if it takes you weeks to get those 30 reconstructed caches or whatever. They won't drop you the same thing. Once you get one piece, then you get another piece, then you get another piece. They're not going to drop you the same thing. I've already got a couple of good pieces that for builds that I'm going to have coming out soon that are going to be very problematic, because I'm going to utilize weapon handling and things of that nature to even make this even more deadly. So I want you all to take advantage of all of that. This is your boy Anubis Can't Be Stopped. I want you to like and subscribe to my video. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. I know that you want to be a part of the movement. Can't Be Stopped is not just a moniker, it is a movement. And I appreciate each and every one of you that subscribe. I appreciate each and every one of you that don't subscribe and watch my videos. But if you like what I'm doing and you want to help me out, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe to my video. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Stay frosty out there, agents. Anubis out.
according to the... That should keep them from getting more of those mortars.
You think closing the tunnel was smart? Fuck you! You've locked yourself in with them.
Good work. Go on and head back up. The team from the campus has taken position inside the memorial.
If you hadn't stopped them, I know they would have used those weapons on us, and we would have ended up like Castle. I can't tell you how relieved I am to have you on our side. Thank you.
Today, we dealt a great blow to the True Sons infrastructure. We confiscated a massive cache of chemical weapons and eliminated a stronghold near the campus. You should be proud. You saved a lot of lives today.